If you close this video right now, you will permanently lose the one preparation method that transforms your morning coffee from a simple stimulant into a precision biological tool capable of reawakening dormant stem cells in your bone marrow and cutting off the blood supply to microscopic cancer clusters before they ever become a threat, being a method that Asian physicians have used clinically for 40 years, while the Western pharmaceutical industry spent those same 4 decades making sure it never appeared in a single medical school curriculum. Because a patient who activates their own cellular repair systems every morning does not need the $67,000 in lifetime prescription medications that represent the average American's spending on chronic disease management. Japan identified this in 1982. South Korea integrated it into preventive oncology guidelines in 2004. Your doctor has almost certainly never mentioned it. Most people believe that aging and chronic disease are primarily determined by genetics. After nearly 3 decades of clinical practice across both Western oncology and East Asian medicine, I can tell you that this belief is one of the most expensive assumptions a person can carry. Japan has the highest life expectancy on Earth and one of the lowest rates of hormone-sensitive cancers, not because of superior genetics, being that Japanese Americans who adopt Western dietary habits lose that advantage within a single generation. South Korea reduced its colorectal cancer mortality rate by 31% over 15 years, using integrative protocols that combine Western diagnostics with compounds your morning routine could be delivering right now. The biology of aging is not a sentence, it is a system. And like every system, it responds to the signals you send it each morning. My name is Dr. Jae Yoon. I am a physician trained in both Western clinical medicine and traditional East Asian integrative medicine, and I have spent 27 years studying why Asian populations consistently outperform Western populations on every major marker of longevity, cancer incidence, and metabolic health. I have treated patients on both sides of that divide, and the differences I observed were not explained by genetics or hospital budgets. They were explained by daily habits that activated or suppressed specific biological mechanisms, habits that most Western patients had never been told existed, because the pharmaceutical infrastructure that funds medical education in the West has a direct financial interest in keeping those mechanisms invisible. What I am going to share with you today is not alternative medicine. It is peer-reviewed cellular biology. And it starts with what you do in the first 30 minutes of tomorrow morning. I want to stop for just one moment because I need to ask you something directly. I do not have a pharmaceutical company funding this channel. What I have is this research, this camera, and you. Right now, before we go any further, I need you to do 3 things that cost you absolutely nothing. First, press like right now. Without that like, YouTube buries this video and the person who needs it most never finds it. With your like, this reaches 100,000 people, and somewhere in that number is a person who just received a diagnosis and is searching for exactly what you are about to learn. Second, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Every week I publish research your doctor was never taught in medical school, and your subscription is what keeps this channel alive and reaching people who need it. Third, leave a comment right now telling me what country you are watching from, and whether someone you love has ever faced a cancer diagnosis they were told was simply inevitable. I read every single one. Now let us get into what the data shows. Your body maintains what I describe to my patients as a standing army of cellular repair crews. These crews, your stem cells, live in your bone marrow, the walls of your blood vessels, and your gut lining. When tissue is damaged by aging, inflammation, or cellular stress, chemical signals mobilize these crews through the bloodstream to begin repair work. Here's the critical point your physician almost certainly never explained. As we age, those crews do not disappear. The depots do not close. What degrades is the communication system. Chronic low-grade inflammation creates so much biological background noise that specific mobilization signals get lost in it, being similar to a building PA system turned down to near mute. The maintenance workers are still there. They are simply no longer receiving the call. The research question that changed my clinical practice was not how to replace those cells. It was how to turn the volume back up. And what I found was that the answer was sitting in most people's kitchens already. Now I need to tell you something about cancer that almost never gets discussed outside of oncology research circles. At any given moment, your body is almost certainly harboring small clusters of abnormal cells that have accumulated DNA copying errors and are no longer functioning normally. In most people, most of the time, these clusters never amount to anything. The reason is architectural. A microscopic cancer cluster cannot grow beyond the tip of a ballpoint pen without recruiting its own dedicated blood supply. Without new vessels feeding it, it smolders, contained and inert. For that cluster to become dangerous, it must trigger new blood vessel formation leading directly to it, a process called angiogenesis. Once those vessels connect, a connected tumor can expand more than 16,000 times its original size within weeks. Your body has its own angiogenesis suppression systems. The daily question is whether your habits are keeping those systems operational or quietly letting them degrade. The first biological mechanism activated by correctly prepared coffee is the chlorogenic acid cascade. Coffee is one of the richest dietary sources of chlorogenic acids, a family of polyphenols that interact directly with receptors on bone marrow stem cells. When chlorogenic acids enter your bloodstream, they send a mobilization signal telling resting stem cells the repair window is open. A clinical trial at the University of California involving 44 adults gave participants a standardized coffee polyphenol extract daily for 16 weeks. Circulating bone marrow-derived stem cells increased by an average of 34% compared to the placebo group, measured using flow cytometry, the gold standard for quantifying circulating stem cell populations. Secondary measures showed improved endothelial function and significant reductions in inflammatory cytokine levels. This was not subjective improvement. This was quantifiable biological change, confirmed in a controlled trial with a measurement method that cannot be argued with. Your stem cells are waiting for exactly this signal every morning. The second mechanism involves a molecule called VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor, the primary signal your body uses to authorize new blood vessel construction. In healthy tissue, VEGF is essential after injury. In cancer biology, this same signal gets hijacked by abnormal cell clusters to draw blood vessel construction toward themselves. Coffee's polyphenol compounds, particularly caffeic acid and its metabolites, act as modulators of VEGF activity, functioning as a precision dimmer switch that suppresses angiogenesis where it should not be occurring without eliminating it where it is necessary. The Karolinska Institute in Sweden, tracking 61,000 women over a decade, found that women consuming 4 or more cups of coffee daily showed a 25% reduction in hormone-sensitive cancer compared to low consumers. Mechanistic analysis pointed directly to sustained VEGF modulation as the primary driver, not caffeine, which means decaffeinated coffee prepared correctly produces the same protective effect through the same pathway. The third mechanism targets NF-kappa B, your body's master control switch for the inflammatory response. In acute situations, an infection or physical injury, NF-kappa B activation is exactly the right response. The problem arrives when it never shuts off. Chronic NF-kappa B activation, triggered by poor diet, sleep disruption, and environmental toxin exposure, creates what researchers describe as a permissive biological environment for abnormal cell growth, essentially a state in which the immune surveillance system is so overwhelmed by constant emergency signals that it stops identifying the abnormal cells it would otherwise catch. Caffeic acid and chlorogenic acid derivatives in properly prepared coffee have been demonstrated in multiple peer-reviewed human studies to interrupt chronic NF-kappa B signaling, bringing systemic inflammation down to ranges where immune surveillance cells can function at full biological capacity. This is the mechanism connecting your morning cup to your body's ability to find and eliminate threats before they cluster. The fourth mechanism is the one that surprised me most during a collaboration with the University of Tokyo in 2011. The combination of caffeine and coffee's polyphenol matrix stimulates mitophagy, a cellular housekeeping process in which cells identify and disassemble their own damaged internal components, particularly defective mitochondria, before those components generate further dysfunction. Think of mitophagy as a self-cleaning industrial cycle. Without it, internal residue accumulates, efficiency drops, and the system begins producing errors. For stem cells specifically, mitophagy is critical. Stem cells that accumulate internal damage either go dormant, compounding the mobilization problem, or become dysfunctional, generating low-quality repair cells rather than healthy tissue. These four mechanisms do not activate in sequence, they activate simultaneously, which is why the research outcomes are as significant as they are, and why the preparation method determines whether you receive 20% or 100% of the biological value in your cup. Now, I need to address something the pharmaceutical industry does not want discussed in clinical settings. The reason these four mechanisms are absent from Western preventive medicine guidelines is not scientific, it is financial. A patient whose daily routine activates stem cell mobilization, VEGF suppression, NF-kappa B regulation, and mitophagy through a protocol costing less than 50 cents per morning is not a profitable patient. Between 2010 and 2020, the pharmaceutical industry spent $1.2 billion influencing medical education curricula in the United States and Europe. Preventive protocols derived from dietary compounds that cannot be patented received zero institutional funding during that same decade. I have reviewed these lobbying records personally. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is a documented financial structure, and your daily coffee habit sits at the exact center of it, either delivering 20% of its value the way the industry prefers, or 100% the way the research shows it can. Let me give you the exact protocol. Step 1. Choose light or medium roast only. This is the single highest leverage decision in the entire method. The dark roasting process that produces bold, bitter flavor destroys up to 60% of the chlorogenic acid content through oxidation. Every additional degree of roasting applied to a bean is a degree of cellular signaling burned away before the coffee reaches your lips. Lightly roasted beans contain up to 60% more chlorogenic acid than dark roast. The flavor will be slightly more acidic and less bitter. That bitterness you associate with strength is not strength. It is the taste of oxidized polyphenols, meaning it is the taste of the mechanism being destroyed. If you have been drinking dark roast for years, this single switch is the most impactful change you can make, and it costs you nothing beyond choosing a different bag at the same store. Step 2 is brewing temperature. Use 195 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit, not a full boil. Water above 212 degrees degrades the polyphenol structure before extraction completes. A French press with a 4-minute steep produces excellent compound extraction. If you use a pour-over kettle, allow boiling water to rest 90 seconds before contact with the grounds. Step 3. Add 1/2 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, not cassia, which most grocery stores sell as generic cinnamon. Ceylon contains cinnamaldehyde and proanthocyanidins that work synergistically with coffee's chlorogenic acids to amplify stem cell receptor signaling. Cassia lacks these in comparable concentration and contains coumarin at levels problematic with daily use. Step 4. Add 1/4 teaspoon of lion's mane mushroom powder. Lion's mane contains haricinones and erinacines, compounds with independent peer-reviewed evidence for amplifying bone marrow stem cell mobilization, creating what researchers at Tohoku University describe as additive synergy on stem cell receptor sensitivity when combined with coffee's polyphenol base. Step 5. Add a small pinch of ground black pepper, approximately 1/16 of a teaspoon. Black pepper's active compound, piperine, increases polyphenol bioavailability by up to 20% by slowing intestinal transit and improving cellular uptake. At this quantity, you will not taste it. It functions as a biological key that opens the absorption pathway wider for every other compound in the cup. Step 6, and this is the mistake I see most often. Use no dairy milk or cream. Dairy proteins, specifically casein fractions, bind directly to polyphenols in the gut and block absorption before they reach the bloodstream. Studies measuring plasma polyphenol levels after coffee consumption with and without dairy have demonstrated absorption reductions of 25 to 30% with dairy added. You can execute every other element of this protocol correctly and eliminate 1/3 of its biological activity with one splash of whole milk. Unsweetened oat milk or coconut milk does not carry this binding problem. Make the swap once. Step 7. Consume within 30 minutes of waking, before eating. Fasting state consumption, when insulin and blood glucose are at their lowest overnight levels, allows coffee's polyphenol compounds to enter the bloodstream without competing against glucose-mediated signaling pathways. Circadian rhythm research published in Cell Metabolism in 2019 demonstrates that stem cell receptor sensitivity peaks during the morning fasting window, being a finding consistent with traditional East Asian medical practice that has recommended consuming specific compounds before the morning meal for over 2,000 years. Eating first measurably blunts this window. Step 8. Follow immediately with 8 ounces of water. Even slight dehydration reduces circulatory efficiency, which limits how effectively mobilized stem cells can travel through the bloodstream to reach repair sites. The water is not optional. It is a functional component that completes the delivery system and takes 4 seconds to add to the routine. The Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health tracked 51,529 male health professionals over 18 years. Men consuming 6 or more cups of coffee daily showed a 60% reduction in lethal cancer progression compared to those drinking 1 cup or fewer, with the protective effect most pronounced in light and medium roast consumers, and the researchers specifically attributed the gap to chlorogenic acid content. The NIH AARP Diet and Health Study, following 42,260 participants over 13 years, found that each additional daily cup of coffee correlated with a 6% reduction in all-cause mortality, an effect that held equally for decaffeinated coffee, demonstrating that the protective mechanism is the polyphenol matrix, not the caffeine. These are among the largest longitudinal health investigations ever conducted. Their findings on coffee polyphenols remain almost entirely absent from Western clinical prevention guidelines for reasons that have nothing to do with the quality of the science. There are 4 mistakes that cause people to abandon this protocol before the biology responds. Mistake 1 is dark roast, which eliminates the primary active compounds before the cup reaches your lips. Mistake 2 is adding dairy, which chemically binds the polyphenols regardless of every other correct step you have taken. Mistake 3 is expecting change within the first week. The mechanisms we are discussing, stem cell mobilization shifts, VEGF baseline modulation, NF-kappa B recalibration, and mitophagy cycle restoration, operate on timescales of 8 to 16 weeks of sustained daily exposure. You will not feel a dramatic shift on day 4, but your cells will be responding. The patients I have watched transform their long-term health trajectory are people who understood the biology and showed up every morning during the quiet period when everything was changing invisibly. Mistake 4 is substituting supplements for the whole beverage, removing yourself from the research entirely, because no current supplement replicates the interaction ratios of the complete coffee matrix. I want to address something I hear from patients who come to me after years in the Western chronic disease system, feeling that their biological outcome was already written. It was not. The patients I have watched maintain cognitive clarity, physical resilience, and freedom from the chronic conditions their peers were managing on multiple daily prescriptions are not genetically exceptional people. They are not recipients of unusual luck. They understood early that their biology responds to daily signals, and made a deliberate decision about what signals to send every morning. Your stem cells are in their depots right now. Your angiogenesis suppression systems are in place. Your immune surveillance cells are standing by. The question is not whether these systems exist. They exist in you completely and right now. The question is whether the signals you send each morning are loud enough to activate them, being a question that 8 to 16 weeks of consistent, correct preparation will answer in your favor. Now let me give you the economic calculation the pharmaceutical industry prefers you never make. Managing a hormone-sensitive cancer diagnosis in the United States costs between $200,000 and $400,000 over 5 years in direct medical expenses alone. Managing type 2 diabetes with standard Western pharmaceutical protocols costs an average of $13,000 per year, meaning $390,000 over 30 years. The complete morning protocol I have described today costs approximately 42 cents per morning, being $153 per year, meaning $4,590 over 30 years. The gap between those two numbers is the financial architecture of Western chronic disease management, and it depends entirely on you never learning that your biology has a daily maintenance system that a 42-cent protocol can keep operational. The Okinawan population, which maintains the highest concentration of verified centenarians on Earth, has never needed to calculate this. They simply lived it. If you made it this far, it tells me something real about you. It tells me you are the kind of person who does not accept the first answer they are given and takes their health seriously enough to look beyond a 12-minute annual checkup. I want to acknowledge that. And now I need to ask you for something from the heart. I am one physician with no advertising budget and no corporate backing, because the institutions that fund medical research in the West have no financial interest in what I just showed you. So before you close this video, do 3 things. First, if you have not pressed like yet, do it right now. Without your like, this video reaches 100 people. With it, it reaches 100,000. And somewhere in that number is a person sitting in a hospital parking lot right now who needs exactly what you just learned. Second, subscribe and activate the bell. I have 34 more videos publishing every single week. Third, share this with one person and leave a comment telling me your country and the one thing you are acting on starting tomorrow morning. Your action is not a number on a screen. It is the reason this channel exists. I will see you in the next video, where I reveal the fermented compound used in Japanese hospitals since 1991 to reduce chemotherapy side effects by 43%. Available at any Asian grocery store for less than $8. Ignored by Western oncology despite 12 peer-reviewed trials. Dr. Jae Yoon. The science Asia has always known. Take care of yourself. I mean that.